Good evening, everybody. You're watching Encounters 11:30. We're only about 30 minutes late. That's okay. It's 30 minutes of 30 minutes, whatever. Welcome to Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm CmdrAleon. Hope you're. Hey, good to see you, B. Hello, B. And Darlene. Everyone out there around the world, wherever you are. Hey, Chesno, good to see you, brother. And we're going to have a great show tonight. We have no idea who's going to be here, but who's ever here is here. Hey, brother, good to see you. Jennifer, welcome to the show. I'm going to set my goals up here. Get some goals set up here. So I'm gonna go for the gusto tonight. I'm going to go for some high goals. So we're going to switch the goals around. If you're new to TikTok, there are things called TikTok gifts. And I'm going to switch it to the galaxy because that's one of the things that I really do appreciate. So we're going to set the galaxies up. We'll set 10 galaxies on our thing for the first part of our show. We're going to confirm it. So as we go through the show, galaxies. But you can do any TikTok gifts you want to the show to show your appreciation and support for what we're doing. Northern Lights, good to see you. Jennifer, everybody out there. Chadwick, good evening. And we have a full glass of apple cider. Good evening, Deborah, good to see you. Austin, welcome to the show, Austin. Heroes. I'm just taking a look to see who's coming in. Marie Smith. Karen Stevenson, good evening. All right, Catherine Johnson, everybody out there, wherever you are, welcome to another edition of Encounters. All the shows are on my YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News. My show this morning is on YouTube. My show last night is on YouTube. We're all caught up with every show. So now we're back to the current show we're doing tonight that will go on YouTube for tomorrow. And again, welcome. Please share and like. We want to get up to 100,000 likes. So if only a few people are tapping, on the top corner you see where it says 1.7 under my name, Commander. You want to tap the screen, and if you do that, that'll bring the numbers up. But if you don't tap the screen, everything stays stagnant. Just so you know. Lupita, good to see you. Dennis Gentleman, thank you for joining us. Bonnie Porson, good to see you. Claude Riddle, everybody out there, wherever you are, very glad to have you with us. Rick Wood, Psychic, thanks for the follow. We appreciate it. And you'll see all the shows we did last night and this morning. We had some great interviews with people. Very, very interesting. So many people having things. Kit Kat. Hey, Kit Kat, welcome. Jared, thanks for joining us. And we're just gonna, really go with the flow. Can you explain the apple cider? So for me, ever since I started my show, apple cider is just something I drink. I've always been drinking New England apple cider for a lot of years. Thank you for the, just sent the gift. Thank you for the lightning bolt. We appreciate it, Rick Wood, Psychic. We just appreciate that very much. And so we drink apple cider. We like to drink it. It's just one of those staples. Jody K, welcome. Laura, welcome to the show. Dee, welcome. Kat, welcome. Deborah Sharp, welcome to our show. And we'll see who's out there. Peter, welcome. I'm just looking at all the names. Jojo, welcome to our show. Jody K, hey, good to see you. Skylar. We just in general, everybody welcome. Andy, welcome, Andy. Peter. Donnie. Fizzy, Fizzy? I think it is. Andy, thanks for the share. Construction, DI, GI, welcome. Allison Wilkie, Honey McReynolds, welcome. I'm never a shy person about things. Sweet Tea, welcome. Walk on Water, that's a great name. Hey, my cup of tea, good to see you. Good to see Kelly and Adam. Blaze it like 9. Welcome, Deanne. Hey, Deanne, welcome. Everybody out there. It's me, Odette. Divineness, I like that name. James Walker. A lot of good names out there. Mike. Lawrence Farmer, that's a good name. Well, they're all good names, right? Let's see here. Madden Boots or Maiden Boots. Welcome, everybody. And, I basically have been saying, it's funny, I saw this video, this UFO video. John B., the great one. We'll have to have you on here and talk about that dream. I call that a cosmic dream. So we'll have to talk about that. So when I start doing interviews, we'll definitely, can a cloaked ET be unmasked if smoke is emitted in a room? Interesting question. Smoke would not unmask a cloaked ET. If they're really cloaked, they won't be seen. Smoke will not do anything. I'm very interested in why you asked that question using smoke. Interesting. Well, I saw this video. There are people on social media that post videos and they create their whole genre on like these fake videos. So the creator last year is a creator that created a CGI video. And I've seen it on here on TikTok just recently, just today. And it's simply a CGI top quality video that makes it look like these flying saucers are flying, in a bunch of them flying, about 6 or 7. And I frankly posted, I said, whatever you're posting, it's not real. And because I know the video, and I've seen people try to use the video as looking like it looks really real, but it's not, you see those things, you say, I'm going to make a comment. Just I want people to know that some things like that are not real. Winter Sand, welcome to the show. Ryan Storm, welcome. Laura UFO, Pink Justice 11, welcome to our show. And the way things work here on Encounters, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show, we're here to bust the system. That's right. Are you with us? We're here to bust the system on this planet. Hey, Susan Mary. Me and my grandma saw multiple lights in the sky moving around in multiple directions, unlike a plane. Subject matter tonight. So here's the subject matter. For new people, this is just so you know what we do. Encounters, UFO Contact, we're a spiritual UFO talk show. I am a contactee. So I've had contact when I was in the 60s with space people in a spaceship that were human. I'm also not only contactee, I've seen many what people would call UFOs back in the day. I knew them as being spaceships. I've been on radio for about 21 years, and I cosmically came out of the closet on my radio show 21 years ago that I was from Mars, and I also was very clear about the fact that I am from the Ashtar Command, and I am a space person that is human, having a human experience, what you call starseed. So that's kind of like a quick bio about me. Thank you, John B., the great one. And I know we're going to bring you up as our first guest when we start doing this. Susan Mary, good to see you. And we're going to, get interacting. There's a thing called cosmic dreams. People will have these dreams where they've been remembering that they've been on a spaceship or something, and they remember everything about that specific dream. So I usually call the cosmic dreams a reality because they truly are a reality. Mermaid Shoemaker, how did you find out you were a starseed? When I came here, I was fully, as a baby, I couldn't say anything, but when I was old enough, when I was a teenager, before my teenage years, there we go, I had a sighting. I went upstairs in a cul-de-sac, opened the window blinds, and there was a spaceship there, and men and women with light blue space outfits were looking at me, and they were telepathic, and that's when I realized that they were telling me I wasn't from Earth. They told me I was from the stars. And so, great question. That was my only real physical, visual encounter with space people. The rest of my life, I never, at least I don't consciously remember going in any situation like that where I had that physical encounter. But I had plenty of sightings, and all my experiences were positive. Teresa Ann, Commander, I had a dream last night, and it wasn't too long after the live last night, and it was weird. We'll have to talk about your dream. We'll get into a lot of this different stuff tonight. So very shortly we're going to start interviewing people. Hopefully my screen will stay bright and I don't have to keep moving it. So we'll hopefully see that happen. So welcome to our show. I know there's going to be a couple of stories for people to share here. And I find the stories fascinating. I mean, you'll find the stories that people tell us here, from being directly taken on a ship, to having a dream state contact with space people, to mer people, fairies, the Bigfoots. We get into all that stuff, and it's just amazing how this show is really a show about disclosure, because all of you who have stories are the ones that are coming to the forefront of really expressing what you're feeling, what you're going through, the experiences you're having that are cosmic, spiritual experiences. And I think it's just a beautiful thing that people are having those things. And I think it's really time for people to understand the gravity of the situation of our planet, and where we're can't speak English tonight. We're going to readjust our English language here. Okay, let's start all over. But they're going through so many things, and it's so important that we understand how evolved we are as humans, how we've come from a long way from where we were 30 years ago, and it's really kind of an amazing thing. Good evening, I think April, good evening, Kit Kat, everybody, Chesno, and I just think, hey Virginia, welcome to our show. So we really want to go and flow with a lot of different things here tonight, but we want you to know that everything that we've talked about since I've been on here, not just tonight, but since I got on TikTok, it's been a beautiful experience, and I've actually met so many beautiful people here. It's been a real wide open experience to how we connect with each other, how we become friends, how we, I consider, a lot of new people that love our show. You're basically friends all over the world, and we can't ask for anything more than that, We really can't. It really is the way it is. So we're going to see if we can bring. I'm going to be very spontaneous. Understand, I'm a spontaneous. I knew my camera was going to do that to me. I can't figure out why that happens. I wish I knew how to correct it, but I got the light, and I'm putting the light, which is this lamp, closer. Good evening, April. Good evening, sister.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
We're getting used to this.
Are we
camera.
Echoing tonight, or are we good?
You're good. You're not echoing whatsoever.
Awesome.
So welcome back to planet Earth.
Yeah, it was quite the journey.
Yeah, you've had so many journeys, and I was trying to keep track of them since last year. I think it's been over 50 now. If I'm incorrect, let me know.
I have lost track, honestly. Yeah. I really have. I stopped keeping track.
Yeah, I still try to, but it doesn't work. So everybody, I want to introduce April for new people. You might have heard about April. She's a Hollywood star. No, I'm just kidding you. But she's a beautiful person. She's like a sister, and this is what I'm talking about. We met, and even with the people that Kit Kat and Chesno and Johnny, we all met, and many other people, but we all met through TikTok. And if I had been pushed to get on TikTok from Facebook by some friends of mine, I'm not saying this would never happen, but this is organically how the whole thing, it was very organic. as I remember when we first interviewed you, like a regular person, like any interview I did. But it turned out to be that it was something way different than I thought it was going to be, right? Back last year.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I originally started off as a guest, and the commander actually helped me come out of the space closet, I guess we would say, or out of the fairy closet at least.
Yeah, fairy closet.
I've been having experiences with interdimensional beings my entire life, and I never spoke about it, at least not to the public. And it was the commander that kind of brought me out of my shell and got me to toughen up and start being brave enough to start talking about it, talking about the experiences I've been having. And it's not just experiences, it's a way of life for me.
Oh yeah, and when she says it's a way of life, understand it is really a way of life. And I'm so used to when you go on the ship, I always sense that you're off planet, and I've gotten used to that. And it's like for some reason I'm always tuned in when that happens to you. And I've also gotten to the point where, like, I'm very used to it. It's like, okay, there's a lot of intricate things here with Chesno, with Kit Kat and Johnny. And this is the thing that is so amazing, folks. We're all in the same region. And how does that work? Chesno is in Connecticut. He's a friend of mine. Johnny's in New Jersey, and Kit Kat's in Long Island. I've met Kit Kat personally, and I know Chesno personally. I've not met Johnny yet, but I will. But it's just an organic thing. We all came together around the same time.
Yeah.
And then, how does that happen? How is it that we're all in the same area? We're not in like Africa or one person in the Netherlands. We're all in the same region. And April's in northern Vermont, where I used to live in Plainfield, and I'm here in Connecticut. So how is that so perfect as it really is perfect, right? Oh, uh-oh. I hope we don't lose April. Oh, you're there. Good.
Okay, sorry.
I was getting a little bit nervous that you're being taken off planet.
No.
Here.
No.
Thank God. Okay.
He's like, no.
No. So, it's just one of those things. And what I'd like to do is, let people know who are new, and there's some of you who know the story. It is a very a beautiful story how we all met, and where we're going. And there's April right there, and we want to share updates with you. There's certain things we're not going to tell you because we just can't tell you. But there's certain things. I and April talked about it, and there's certain things we want to inform you about, and we will take your questions on our show here tonight. Let me see here. I'm going to go back and see. I want to know, let's see, Kit Kat, if you're there, and Chesno, I'm going to see if Johnny's out there. I want to bring those folks up here too, because I want you to meet the people that are part of what happened here, and we're going to tell the things we can publicly tell you. It'll be a beautiful story, and I think you need to understand, folks, the gravity of what we're all about. But first I want April to give us some updates, because she's been off planet a lot of times recently, and we'll talk about the things we can and the things we can't. We're just going to keep that the way it is, because it's important that we don't say anything that's going to mess things up, so to speak. We're going to be very honoring of that. So April, where would you like to begin and what's happening right now that we can talk about?
Okay, so I mean, we can talk about well, for starters, this time when I was with the command, I was gone for over a month, and they usually bring me back about within 50 minutes of the time that they took me, so I'm not missed on planet. But this time, I was gone for over 2 hours, and I was definitely missed. Noticed that I was not here. But my daughter, before she panicked, she waited because she knows, what's going on. And before she panicked, she waited a little while to see because my car was here, and so obviously something was up. But the other thing is that normally they replace me where they took me from. So say they took me from my house, they would put me back where they had taken me from. But this time, instead of doing that, they left me back. When they dropped me off, I was placed outside, which is totally out of what they normally do. And my security camera also got a small glimpse of me coming back on planet, and I'll be posting that so you guys can see. So this time, I actually got to see the commander's show going on the monitors in the helm of the ship. So there was probably about 18 monitors going on, and they have like it's almost like in a U shape, and there's several monitors that happen all at once, and they monitor specific people and certain happenings that are going on. But almost every single monitor was at that time was on the commander's show, so they were watching the show. They monitor both mine and your show. They that's kind of like a leisure thing for them.
Yeah,
so they were quite enjoying it. And then I could hear them. I could also thank you. I can also hear them making comments, and it made sense to me when they were doing that, because like how when listen, this is funny, because you know how like when like you're watching a show and you're like, no, don't go down in the basement, or you do something like that. I was watching some of the people that monitor the shows or was doing the monitoring. I was watching one of them going, no, yes, that's right, yes, and I could hear him like mumbling stuff to himself. So it made sense to me why that was. Sometimes when we're doing the show, I keep hearing voices come across the phone.
That's right.
And I'll hear them like agreeing with you or making comments with some of the stuff you're saying, but like they're trying not to get into trouble. So they're like, yes, that's right, yes. And so that's why the raspy, whispery voices that come across. I
hear that too.
Because they're also not used to speaking with their mouths. They're all practicing speaking with their mouths, because they're so used to speaking telepathically that they're not used to talking with their mouths anymore. So they've all been practicing, because after contact happens, they're obviously going to have to communicate with us. And yes, we will be able to telepathically communicate with them, but until everybody's up to speed, we're going to have to talk to them. So they're learning how to do this ahead of time.
Yeah, they are, and they are learning how to speak. I mean, it's really amazing how quickly they're learning to use the vocabulary, and they are mainly telepathic. And one of the things we'll learn, I think, once we are on the ship, I mean, I've already know that I have the ability to be telepathic. I know April does. I'm sure some of you know that you are telepathic already. But we're going to learn how not to speak with our mouth and go through conscious communications, which is a beautiful thing too. So I think we're going to learn a lot about how we can telepathically communicate with each of our space people from different planets. Like if we were going to a restaurant somewhere on planet XYZ, we would sit there and talk to each other just with consciousness. We wouldn't even move our lips. We could, but telepathy is the main way they can communicate. Our space family does. And that's something we can all take to the bank and kind of learn. So there's a lot going on, and what else was happening? That was a funny story, but there's a lot going on that, and we'll just talk about the things we can, the things that we're can't talk about. We're just gonna not do that until we get the okay to, from the up on the ships to talk about some things that are happening.
So one of the things that happened, and this was really strange, because I have never met with Jesus this specific way, but so I was led into a room, and I thought there was a doorway with it was like a bright, it almost looked like watery light coming down. It looked like a shimmer of water almost, but it was energy that was coming down through this doorway, and I was told to go through it, and I thought I was going through a rift. rift. I thought it was like a doorway and there was like a rift in it. That's what I thought I was walking through. I thought they were sending me somewhere, and it kind of wigged me out a little bit. Like I was a little afraid, and I'm not going to say that I wasn't, because I was going in alone. Usually somebody goes with me through these things, but they sent me in alone. And when I stepped through, though, I went into this. It was basically a portal that I went into, and they sent me into a portal, and it was like everything that was around me was bright lights. There was it looked like I was walking into a computer, because everything was digitalized. The air itself had blocks in it, and it was very digital. And then this blue blob started like moving towards me. I could see it like up in the corner. It like started to form, and it was like it was moving towards me, and I was like, okay, what's happening? I wasn't sure what was happening, so I was using my energy to push it away, because I'm like, no, this isn't happening, because I wasn't sure.
Right.
I wasn't sure what it was. I didn't know where I was, and I wasn't sure what it was. But it started to form, and then it started to form into a humanoid body. And then it kept like coming at me. At first it seemed like it was like right in front of me, but then it seemed like it was coming from it was really strange. But then it seemed like it was coming from a distance, and then it formed into a body, and it started walking towards me, and I stood very still, because I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be doing. And every part of me, the human piece of me, wanted to turn around and run right back out that door, but
Like you gotta run.
I didn't know where the door was.
No door.
No door. So I turned around and I kind of looked, and then I looked forward, and I'm standing there, and I was like, okay, so I'm standing still. Maybe this thing won't see me. It's like, it's not going to see me. But anyways, it ends up forming and coming towards me, and then the figure started to like have presence. It made sense of what it was, and it ended up being Jesus, but he wasn't in an Ashtar Command uniform. He was in plain clothing. He was wearing some type of hemp type pants, loose baggy brown pants, a vest, and a very loose fitting white shirt, very 60s looking, very Woodstock. What we
talked about. He was like a hippie, you know.
Yes, and usually his hair is pulled back tight in a ponytail, but his hair was down this time, and he was very laid back. But he also spoke to me. Not like he normally speaks to me. Normally there's a lot of joking and bantering and stuff like that going on. But when he spoke to me, very soft and very kind, and with a lot of thought put into the words that he said to me. So it was he had information that he needed to give to me that was just for stars, but some of that information I can't divulge, because that's just for the five.
That's right.
But the rest of it was, that he talked to me about the hard work that we have ahead of us, guys. That there's a lot going on right now that we need to know about, and there's a lot that he needs us to be prepared for, and he wants the light workers, and this is stuff I'm supposed to come back and bring to you guys, the light workers in the room, the people that are healers, the people that are true believers. He talked about, because I was there for quite a while talking with him, and it's so much so that a digital chair had even formed, and I sat down, and we had quite the conversation. And, he really wants us to start being prepared for the change and the shift for when things happen. And he wants us to know that, that everything isn't going to be easy peasy when big contact happens. We do have a lot of work ahead of us. They aren't coming to fix our world for us. They're coming to help us fix our world, and they need us to know this, because they have been doing so much for our planet right now, so much that they can't they can't do it for us, guys. We have to step up and do the work. That's just for starts.
That's at the beginning.
Yeah, and then, but they are coming with a lot of help, guys. They're coming with a lot of help with technology and healing stuff to help fix what has been broken on our planet. Help it fix what the government has been doing to us. Help prepare us. Hang on, just 1 second, guys. Give me a second.
Yeah, and so some of you couldn't hear. After the thing about Jesus, I'll have April reiterate for those that had frozen areas or buffing. We'll have her so that no one misses anything here. Plus, we're recording the show, so the show is being recorded in case you missed anything in words, but we will get into that more. And again, like I said, there's going to be a lot that April and I have talked about off the lives here, and we're giving you information that we can give you. So yeah.
Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
My granddaughter. Anywho, so when he spoke, he talked about the hard work that we have ahead of us, and he also talked about us as a collective, working together and trying to start waking people up and start having people start to realize that this is going to happen, guys. This contact is going to happen, and whatever the government is doing and all this negative activity that's been going on is not going to stop contact from happening, because they are trying to stop it, so much so that they have recruited these negative ETs to come in and gave them land and gave them up in Antarctica and gave them permission to basically boss around the reptilians that are here, and they've had them digging underneath the surface of the ice and outside of their borders, from what the land that they were given. So these guys have now implanting themselves all over the planet. So this isn't happening. The Ashtar Command is aware of everything that is going on. They are not letting stuff go. They have been closing down these tunnels. Little by little, they've been finding out where the new tunnels have been being dug, and they've been knocking out the tunnels. I was with them through several of those attempts of knocking down some of these.
And you were just with them recently, April. You on recent journeys.
Yes, I was. That was Saturday night. Was when I was with them. Yeah,
last Saturday. Yeah.
But I was with them for a month with their time, a month. So we did quite a bit, and there was also some teaching moments and stuff that were in there for myself. But there's like I said, a lot of information for the 5 that I need to get to them. But guys, this has gotten to the point where these negative the government thinks that they have a control over these ETs, but these ETs are pulling the wool over their eyes. They really do not have control over what is going on with them. And the command knows this. They know how sneaky these low I haven't gotten a name for these beings yet, and which is strange. I call them the low vibers, and it's kind of picked up because the Ashtar Command is calling them the low vibers too.
They are the low vibers. I mean, there's no question about it, right?
Yeah. So, I don't know the name of the species, but I've been calling them the low vibers, and it's got kind of has picked up speed with the Ashtar Command, because now everybody's calling them the low vibers.
They learned something from April, the word low vibers. But it is serious. But what April's talking about is so serious because the government allowed these low vibers to come in during the eclipse. They came in through the eclipse. The reptilians, it's not like there are a lot of them, but there's enough of them that they brought in to try to wreak havoc on the planet. Because what April and I are talking about here is that the government is trying to stop contact with our space family. But I'm not just talking about our physical space family, April 9. We're talking about the galactic family of light, of all the beautiful people that are coming here to reconnect with us. And many of you out there when this happens, when the contact happens, we'll actually have, for the first time, you're probably going to meet somebody that you're related to from another planet. The thing is, the government wants to stop the contact. You know, they think they're going to do this again. They're going to try to stop the Ashtar Command, which represents a bazillion, many planetary systems of light, and they think they're going to take on our Earth government thinks they're so smart to know that they're going to take on the whole universe. They're going to take on every single planetary system of light, which is millions upon millions of space people from other planets that are coming to Earth. They think these so-called rich people with their caviar and glasses of wine, who like are pulling the strings, think that they have one over on us. But they don't.
Somebody just asked, how did our government get so powerful? They got so powerful because they have been making agreements with interdimensional beings, getting weaponry and different things from them to trick the masses. The recent one is this holographic technology that they've been having, and I'll get into it real quick. So this rash of thunderstorms that we've been having are not real. These are fake thunderstorms. If anybody has videotaped any of these thunderstorms that are so beautiful, they're so pretty, but they're not real. I can guarantee you that they're not real. I would go through, if you have videotaped any of them, slowly slow your video down. Scroll through it frame by frame, and you will get glitches in the video storms. I have posted several pictures of the glitches that I have found in them, and there's not just that, but they've also been doing holographic faces by the moon. They've been doing fake moons, these red moons that are appearing in people's sky, and the people are looking and going, "Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Why is it so orange or so red?" They're not real. Those are holographic, and all of a sudden they're there, and then they're not. I was actually on a live when this moon just starts turning red, and then it starts dissipating, and then the moon starts traveling very quickly through the sky, and then just disappears. And this was directly on a live with, a couple of hundred people on with me watching this happen, and it was just the strangest thing. But then later on, I went through some of the videos from it, and I was just looking at them like, this is so strange, and I was watching it, and some of it got really grainy, and for some weird reason, my camera was able to pick up an image of a scientist that kind of, I don't know how or why it picked it up, but it picked it up an image of a scientist